Is there a survey system in place for the used, purchasing a GM certified?
Absolutely.
That's similar to new.
It's very similar
Okay.
to the new cars.
Okay.
They will get a survey, and it really covers a lot of the points that the new car survey has.
Okay.
Because this is really what a certified, vehicle is. It's kind of like the word used,
Right.
N-U-S-E-D-D. It's a used vehicle, but kind of with the new car
Warranty.
flair and,
Yeah.
and some warranties
Yeah,
and things
yeah.
like that. And so it's
Well, it's in purchasing almost peace of mind too, with that.
oh,
with the
absolutely.
certified.
It doesn't matter what you purchase. You get what you pay for.
Exactly.
There's certain situations where people go to repo sales and buy a vehicle, and I save so much money. Well,
Right.
okay.
Right.
Then they find they get it home and the vehicle wasn't cared for and it has no warranty. You're buying
Right.
it as is, and the next thing you know, you're spending money after money after money after money
Right. Right.
to recondition it, and you never really got a real deal. And that's the same thing. Private person. It's a buyer beware. You have no one to go back to, and with a certified program, you can be rest assured you're getting
A quality
a first
vehicle.
class quality vehicle with a lot of backing.
What do you think the percentages of a average typical dealer used car inventory, they're certified to non-certified? What would you guess that might be?
Well, in the case with General Motors, you got to have at least 10% of your, in order to maintain your certifications, you got to have at least 10% of the vehicles you sell have got to be certified.
Okay.
In our case, except for our GM vehicles, over 90% of our vehicles sold GM are certified vehicles. Obviously, used Chryslers or Fords or whatever, they're not certified through GM.
Correct.
We do put our reconditioning and our inspections and everything, we put those vehicles through the same inspection process.
Okay, so that you're comfortable with them.
Yes,
Okay.
and we still do the Carfax and all that. It's just that it won't necessarily come with
That GM.
the GM
certified. one.
GM 12-month, 12,000 mile bumper-to-bumper warranty.
Okay.
Right.
When does it make sense? Because there certainly have to be vehicles that are non-certified that are still good cars.
Oh, absolutely.
So, when might it make sense for a consumer to consider that route? And what would be the real advantage of that? Obviously, I'm guessing cost savings, but, when would something like that make sense?
Well, I mean, if you're dealing with a dealer you're comfortable with and you're buying their non-brand,
Okay.
obviously it's not going to be a certified situation. But you're comfortable with the person, the salesperson. You've known that dealership. You're comfortable with them.
That make and model.
They've treated you well. It's serviced. It's clean Carfax. Maybe you went ahead and had it inspected by your own.
Okay. We talked about
somebody
last
else. Yes, and then that's fine.
Okay.
But if you have an opportunity to. If you're looking at two comparable vehicles and one's being sold certified and one's being sold not certified, then
you need to compare.
You need to compare, and I can tell you, in most cases, the prices aren't different.
Okay.
You could be sitting there and be looking at two $10,000 vehicles.
Right.
Both of them they're the same vehicle. They're both going to cost you $10,000, but this one's certified, this one isn't. Go with certified all day long.
Right.
I mean,
make sure you're comparing apples to apples.
Oh, absolutely. And even if if the certified is a few dollars difference and more maybe, what's that peace of mind?
Right. Exactly.
What's that worth? I mean, knowing that what the car went through.
Right.
There's a lot of times dealers will just go and change the oil, slap a sticker up and put it on a used car lot. But you can bet that with a certified vehicle, it has gone through the ringer.
And probably a lot of those vehicles too are customers that are your a long-time customer that you know
Absolutely.
that they're maintaining the car.
Mm-hmm.
You're happy to have that car because you know that it was well taken care of.
Oh, sure, sure.
So.
And if it's someone that if it wasn't a trade-in and you don't know it, that's what what the Carfax and the vehicle history reports can tell you.
Okay.
That this was a one owner, that there were no accidents with it. And in a lot of cases, it'll Carfaxes now will show a lot of times the service records that we talked about before that are on that vehicle, and all of a sudden you can see, oh my gosh, this was changed. Oil was changed every 3,000 or 4,000 miles, or whatever the case may be. And
which we didn't talk about the last time, and I believe it is Carfax.com, but they do show samples of reports that viewers can look at to see what we're talking about and how they really detail what that report looks like.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, well, we talked a little bit about service and what a technician goes through along with other staff of a dealership to mark a car certified, but let's switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about service and dealer service as opposed to that independent smaller garage or the local garage on the corner, and maybe give some consumers some perspective on, is that really a better deal to go to Joe Smith on the corner as opposed to going to a GM service provider, and some of the real pros and cons there.
Well, I mean, your independent shops locally or whatever, or our local people that have been around in the community for a long time, and they do a nice job. But you have the same situation at the dealership level. We're community minded. We're doing things in the community. We live in the community. We work in the community, and it's one thing with a dealership. The level of training, there is an extensive difference in level of training.
Okay.
It's like at our store, our techs are continually being trained.
Okay.
On the new products that are coming in, the new things that are coming out, the situations that arise that that come up with cars.
Right.
They're mechanical.
Right.
So, down the road, there might be something that's become inherent with this car, and they'll put out campaigns on it. Well, your new car store, your new car dealership service department knows those campaigns. They know what's going on. They've gotten those bulletins. The techs have gone and they've sat through training on what needs to be done to take care of that situation. And a lot of that's done right there at the dealership via the computer or TV or whatever. And there's a lot of it's done, off-site. We send guys to Detroit, Chicago on a regular basis for training. But they know that stuff. Whereas an independent garage, they don't go through the training. They don't get these updates. They don't know that stuff. And all of a sudden, when you take it to a dealership, they'll know pretty much right now what the situation is, where an independent, they're starting to change parts, or, and they just, I think it might be this, because they don't know.
Right.
They don't know. They have